What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, guys, to another episode of Two Ballers FC, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 5. We are here. The whole gang is not here, but I do have some of the main people in here. Big ups to you, Prime and Mike. What's going on with you guys, man?
All good, man. All good. All good. Good to be back on, man.
Yeah, well, I'm good. Looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, man. Listen. Tell me about it. Listen, guys. Club football is officially back. No more international football for months.
Mm.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie, because the international break was awful. If
Yeah.
for some of us, for certain people, some people enjoyed the international break.
Yeah,
We're not,
put
we're not
your
really,
hands up if you've qualified for AFCON.
yeah. Fuck off. Listen, but look, yeah. So unfortunately, yes, Gambia got what Gambia does. But listen, at the end of the day, I won't have to lose my hair during the Afcon. And listen, it is what
Gambia
it
to
is.
Ghana, crazy.
Hey, and Guinea, you know what? Guinea also didn't qualify. So basically, my two nations, my parent nations, are not going to be in the Afcon in next year. That's insane. But yeah, man, listen, we are here, ladies and gentlemen, because listen, international break is officially over. We are back for club football, obviously, and look, at the end of the day, La Liga fan, do watch Premier League football. These guys are Premier League fans. You got the Chelsea fan, we got the West Ham fan. And listen, to be fair, even though it's been international break, but your clubs, all of our clubs have been very active with like a lot of this stuff that's been happening, right? I would actually like to start with you, funny enough, Mike's, right? Because I actually saw some news coming out of West Ham today, apparently from Talk Sports. Well, I don't know
Mm.
how trustworthy they are, but basically what I'm hearing is apparently you guys are speeding up the process of talking to Eden TERZIC. Did
Mm.
you actually hear about that? And what's the whole deal with that?
So, funny enough, on the past couple of shows, I predicted this would happen. But the thing is, this has been driven by reporters that are reliable already. The fact that Talksport are talking about it doesn't really mean much to me because Talksport don't really get anything right. But the thing is, I think the fact that it was driven by journalists before, like, I think it was when we lost to Tottenham, when we lost 4-1 to Tottenham, the fact that Fabrizio Romano leaked it on one of the articles he was talking about, that West Ham could accelerate to sack Lopetegui and Edin Terzic would be the favourite. And I think that was always going to happen. It wouldn't inspire me, but it wouldn't. It's a very West Ham thing to do to hire someone that's already worked at the club. But also, I had a feeling like a couple of weeks ago that it was already agreed, just because West Ham don't have interims. Like throughout my time watching West Ham, we don't have interim managers. So, for example, if Lopetegui was to get sacked, I think Terzic would get hired instantly. So I feel like once you see Lopetegui's been sacked, you'll see a report from like Romano or someone being like West Ham have accelerated in talks with Edin Terzic. I feel like you'll see a report or something like that
Mhm.
because I feel like it's already pre-agreed, and it might be the reason why he wasn't considered for the Roma job because he was probably waiting for Lopetegui to keep doing what Lopetegui does and then for him to take over. I think it will happen eventually. If I don't know whether it'll happen after the Newcastle game when we lose to Newcastle or when we lose to Arsenal, it'll be one of them two. Um, but when we eventually lose to either one of them, maybe Lopetegui will be sacked then and they'll get Terzic in. But to me, that doesn't really change much. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that kind of appointment because he's free of work. Our owners
Mhm.
only hire managers that aren't in work, which is just the lazy option, really. That's why Lopetegui's here in the first place. The director of football has no input in terms of hiring a manager, even though he should, even though he has in charge of the transfer window. So this wouldn't surprise me anyway. But despite Talksport not getting much right in general, they're kind of just saying what everyone else has been saying for the past couple of weeks, which I feel like is going to happen. But I also feel like it's one of them headlines that people are peddling out those headlines until the Premier League game week starts again because they get bored during these times in the international break and stuff. That's why you hear more stuff coming out about our clubs, especially.
Mm. No, I completely hear that. And look, I'll say this very quickly about all of that. I feel like okay, so before I do say what I have to say, where do you currently stand? Are you happy that at least the club are looking at trying to get other options since like the Lopetegui, it seems like this whatever you guys are doing with Lopetegui right now, it doesn't seem to be working out for you guys right now. What do you personally think of the TERZIC appointment if it does happen?
I feel like we would just look as uninspiring, not maybe as uninspiring, but just as identityless. I would say, because when I watched them in the Champions League last season with Borussia Dortmund, I didn't really know what they were trying to do. In terms of the fact that sometimes they go direct, sometimes they play out, etc. I don't think it would necessarily help, and it's pretty much a similar formation as well. And I've seen pretty much the same formation at West Ham, where there's not really many fresh ideas. It kind of just doing the same thing all the time, and I'm somewhat happy with the fact that they are they're somewhat trying to be ruthless. But my problem is, if you're trying to be ruthless, why wait until we play Newcastle and Arsenal, 2 games that we were very unlikely to win anyway, because of our record against Newcastle and, of course, at home against Arsenal, we saw what happened last year. If you really wanted to be ruthless, you would have sacked him either after Chelsea game or after the Tottenham game. Like that's the main thing for me. And I feel like if you're even looking to sack him now, you clearly didn't believe in the appointment in the first place anyway. As much as I want him sacked, you didn't believe in him because you were the one that hired him. You clearly don't believe in him that much that you can turn it around. But I don't know also why you're picking now, as I said, with Newcastle and Arsenal out all the games. Because despite the fact that our fixtures are okay after them 2 games, we still probably would lose to like maybe a Bournemouth or a Brighton because we don't have a good record against Brighton.
I mean,
like,
Bournemouth and Brighton.
yeah,
Let's be real.
Bournemouth are really good this season. Like Iraola with what he's doing. Like as much as they're not bad fixtures on paper, knowing West Ham, knowing what we do, despite whether it's home or away or not, we won't turn up for those games. And it's not like we don't have the squads to turn up for those games. It's just the managerial appointments. And I don't believe in this whole manager bounce when it comes to West Ham either. I just feel like we're just going to look as identityless and as uninspired as we already do. And I feel like Ned and TERZIC, well, it's a bit lazy because he's already worked in the club as well and as an assistant manager to Bilic. So it's kind of just like he already has the relationship with the owner. I don't know how their relationship was back then, but that was also 8 years ago. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be inspired by it. I don't think anything will change if TERZIC gets hired.
No, I hear. Prime, what do you think of if they do hire in Edin Terzic, from your honest opinion, from after seeing what he's been doing?
I think it's. I don't actually think he's actually that bad of a coach. But he got Champions League final last year, and year before he won the title, and I think they bottled it on the last day. However, he's not the right guy that West Ham actually need. There's a plethora of quality managers out there that play the brand of football that play plethora of managers out there that would suit the quality of players West Ham currently have. They don't have defensive-minded players. They've got attack-minded players at their disposal. They should get a Sarri, or even if they want to go young and get like a Michael Carrick, or if wait until like what's his name, Ange gets sacked and get him. There's managers out there. There's quality managers out there. So I don't know what they're doing going for TERZIC. Maybe it'll work out, but just from what I've seen from him and from what I see about your current players, I don't think it's going to work. And if you bring him in and it doesn't work, how long do these players stay for? Kudus, if he gets an offer for Chelsea or whatever, how long does he stay? I know Bowen's on a long-term contract, but if Somerville, he just moved, but if he gets a chance to go, why wouldn't he leave? And then all of a sudden you're doing like it's just a weird cycle of like nothingness, really. And you would think from winning the Conference League 2 years ago that you would try and push on to at least be like a stable top 8 team, which I think is what West Ham should be.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Kudus is gonna leave regardless, but I hear you, especially with the other players. Like with Somerville, he's already. I think if I was him, I'd be frustrated already this season. I don't care if you just moved. These guys are human beings. They're not gonna, as much as he might be patient. I don't know, but as much as he's not done tools for this manager, if I was him, I would have fucking done tools for this manager for sure, because this manager's completely mistreated him. If TERZIC comes in and does the exact same thing and exiles him, he would probably need to leave, in my opinion, for his own sake of his own career. We like the thing is, we've actually had with our transfer window, it's good that we actually had a director of football that found out these targets and stuff and worked with the manager, and that was all good. But if you're going to give the manager, if you're going to give the director of football all go aheads in the transfer window, you've got to give them the go aheads with the manager as well, so he can build the whole project himself and make all the footballing decisions and build the club in his image with a manager that can take that on. But I think also this is a bit of a tactic so that Sullivan can hire someone that's German just because our technical director is German and make it look like it's our technical director making the final decision just because he knows him from the Bundesliga. But no, we don't. We see right through this because we've seen this millions of times before. He's never hired a manager that's already in work. As we discussed last week about Maurizio Sarri, how perfect he would be for this West Ham squad. Like that is someone that if you're going to hire someone out of work, that is the manager you hire. That's probably the best manager for this squad. The manager that's going to get the best out of this West Ham squad at this current moment in time. But I just wouldn't be inspired when it comes to Terzic. I wouldn't be excited. I'd probably be the same mood when it comes to this club and not really have anything to look forward to. I wasn't even expecting top 8 this year. As Prime said, we should be a stable top 8 club. Like I was going to give you the first season, get your identity, and then try to finish a similar position next year.
No, I completely hear that. And listen, look, my honest opinion, honestly, is that when it comes down to like this whole, basically the Terzic deal is on paper. When you look at Terzic's time at Dortmund, it looks relatively okay. He went to a league. He nearly won the league with them, and then went to a Champions League final. But people who have watched Dortmund, especially last season, will tell you this guy, he was not good, and a lot of the fans were happy to see the end, basically see him gone. So at the end of the day, I feel like when it really comes down to it, the players really just need to just. It really doesn't make sense to me because yes, you are absolutely right. I think that the most obvious, Prime, you just mentioned it, right? The players that they have a lot of more attacking minded players than defensive minded players, right? It would have made so much more sense to hire a attacking minded manager, and the most obvious one is Sarri, who's been unemployed all season. Right. At the end of the day, it's not like they can't attract Sarri. Sarri was at Lazio last season. Right. If you speak to Lazio fans, they will tell you he under them they were playing some of the best football under him. You understand what I'm saying, right? He was a top manager for them. They play some of the most entertaining football. And if you really think about it, what West Ham fans really want is not just for the club to basically improve, but also they want to see the football improve. You understand what I'm saying, right? They want to see attacking minded style of football. That's why they didn't like when they had Allardyce and all these guys. At the end of the day, West Ham fans at the least want to be entertained. They want to at least come to the stadium knowing that they're watching some of the most attacking-minded football in the league. You understand what I'm saying, right? And with Sarri, he would give you that. You at least would know that, listen, we would at least give it a go, right? We may get battered sometimes when we play against certain teams. Maybe if we play like the Cities and, the Liverpools, maybe we might get battered. But at least I can be assured knowing that when we play teams like the Ipswich, if we play the Bournemouths or the Nottingham Forests of the Fulhams, at least I can go in those games thinking, all right, we have a team, we have a squad where if we go at them, we can actually beat these guys. You understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And the thing with Terzic football is not actually that great to watch. You understand what I'm saying? Like Dortmund fans, like even Jez, I'm sure he'll be here later, but even Jez will even tell you, like, the football wasn't nice to watch. I know last season people are going to say, yeah, they reached a Champions League final, but if you really watch them, they did well in the Champions League, but they finished 5th in the league last season. If it wasn't for the fact that this season, the whole Champions League format was changed, right? And basically, Bundesliga was given that fifth slot in the Champions League. They would have not been in the Champions League this season, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you really think about it, he did an okay job, but he didn't really break any records when he was there. So for me, I feel like the TERZIC deal is very similar to the Lopetegui deal. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Where I'm like, at the end of the day, it's not bad, but at the end of the day, it's not good. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying he's going to
I
be as
agree.
bad as Lopetegui. He might come in and
Mm.
he might be able to improve the team, but is he going to take you to where basically you guys want to go? I
No.
personally don't think so. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really what I really think about all of that. But listen, to switch gears very quickly, Prime. Chelsea, unfortunately, Prime, Reece James is, bro, he's injured again, bro. Golly, this brother cannot catch a break.
Oh no. Anyway, we play Leicester this weekend.
Doesn't even bother. It's like, yeah, I'm not even going to.
Ah.
I'm joking. Now, okay.
Nah, I hear you.
No, it is sad that he's. I don't know, because like when it was reported yesterday, I was one of the few. I was trying to get people to like calm down and not like overreact.
Mm.
Like I put out 2 tweets about it. I went on Lewis's channel and on Casually, and I was like, it's not. Let's just wait and see. It might just be a little knock. You shouldn't have to play against Leicester anyway. It's not that deep. And then he put out an Instagram post. And then it was reported today that like they wanted to take him for a scan on Saturday. But Jez there. They want to put him for a scan on Saturday, but they're gonna do it next week.
The Prime, you okay? Is he frozen? He must have frozen.
Yeah, I think he's frozen. Yeah.
Look, before while just what's his name? Prime fixes his internet,
Oh, sorry.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
big up to you, Jess. Yeah, you good. Go ahead, man.
Not bad. What was the last thing you heard me say?
No, you were actually talking about basically his injury and basically how you were basically saying,
Yeah. I was just trying to get people to like not overreact and stuff, right? I thought it was just a little knock. That he shouldn't have to play against Leicester anyway. It's fine. He'll be back next week. And then he put out a post on Instagram, like, and then today it was reported that they wanted to take him for a scan on Saturday, but they're gonna do it next week. I'm assuming it's because like they're swelling or something.
Mm.
I think on his hamstring or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. But
Is his hamstring? Is the hamstring his most common injury? Then is that always the one that's reoccurring?
yeah,
It's kind of a worry then. A little bit.
we'll see. I don't know. But
yeah, but you know what it is like. That guy, right? You know what the thing with Reece James is? Reece James, for me, I've always said, when Reece James is fit, he's for me, he's like the best right back in the league when he's fit. Like people, obviously, people would say, Trent and all this. With the reason I always pick Reece for me, and listen, it's very close between him and Trent. Don't get it twisted, right? But for me, the reason why I always give Reece that little bit of an edge is because with Reece, not only is he good going forward, but defensively, I trust Reece James more defensively than I trust Trent. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
If you gave me a chance to sign either one, right? Don't get it twisted. I would love to have either of those two players at my team, especially at Barcelona. We don't have a right back. Jules Koundé is playing a right back for us. But I'm saying if you gave me a choice between the two, I would rather put Reece James because at least Reece James, he will do the attacking fullback thing, right? He will go forward. He can cross the ball. He can do all of those things. But also, I know that when we're playing against certain teams, like let's say we're playing Madrid, I can sit there and tell Reece, I can sit there and say, Reece, you go and mark Vinny. You understand what I'm saying? And I would rather trust Reece to mark Vinny than I would trust Trent. Do you understand what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Definitely.
And that is my
Yeah.
point. And that's why for me, I always said I would rather him, because at least with him, in the games where I feel like we're gonna need to be defensively good, right?
Mhm.
We need those are the games that you need Reece James, right? But at the end of the day, with Reece James, right? This, like, seriously, when was the last time this guy actually played for you guys, Prime? When was the last time he actually played a game for Chelsea?
Arsenal, no?
You
You're
muted. You
muted.
muted.
You're muted, bro.
The last time he played was the international break.
Oh,
He played against Man United. No, the last game was he played
You
against
played
Man
me.
United.
You played Me United. Yeah, Man United.
He came off the bench against Arsenal. I don't know why he didn't start. He played against Newcastle. He was man of the match, and then he played against Liverpool, and he had a very good game.
so
Yeah.
okay. So
I
very
can't lie
quickly,
though.
but before you
Okay.
do go, Jess, very quickly, right? I will say this also. Did they have they given a diagnosis of how long he's going to be out?
We don't know because they want to have a scan. So
Oh, okay. All right. Go
they'll,
ahead,
like,
Pryor. Go ahead, Jess.
they'll,
No, go ahead.
they'll
Okay,
take it. We'll get a scan next week, and then they'll see from there. But we don't know as of yet.
But yeah,
Nah,
Jess.
I wanted to say, obviously, big up everyone.
Yeah.
Just came back home. Big up to everyone. I think the biggest issue with James is not necessarily the last time when he played. It's more so when was the last time where he had like a consistent run of games in the season with all the injury? Because ironically, this started off as a joke in the group chat that I'm in with Prime, and I asked the question. I asked the question, or I put a challenge for Reece James. Show me that you can. I don't think you are washed if you can play 390 minutes in a row. And he was literally about to do that if he played against Leicester, but he didn't. So I think, and ironically, I think I made that joke 2 years ago. I think. And I don't think Reece since then ever played like 3 games in a row, which is actually which is fucked up because I agree with Omar in terms of how I personally rate. I think Reece James would be in the conversations of best right back in the world if it wasn't for the injuries. But that's why the board Gusto. That's why the whole idea of Gusto playing left back and Reece James playing right back or either way around. I never really understood it why Maresca does it to begin with because you know how consistently Reece James can get injured, and Gusto is not a left back.
He only did it for a few games because Kukurea got suspended.
That's fair enough then because I think there should be a consistent thing like when Reece James actually fit that Gusto's a good player, but you know who the better player is, and if Reece James is actually available and actually fit to play multiple games, then it shouldn't be really a thing where he should be out of position in my opinion. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate with Reece James, but can't do anything. You can't do much about it. And I checked it by the way. I checked up by the way. The most it is actually the hamstring, which is like a recurring thing. But and I think it started off in 21-22 when he had that injury. When he had the injury and he had to sit out longer than supposed to.
Yeah, that was like obviously he was playing wing back a lot though, so he had to do a lot more running and stuff. But like I feel like ever since, like maybe not, I don't know how long it's been going on for, but I feel like it's been going on for maybe a bit too long. In fact, we haven't really seen him go for running games.
He's been injury prone throughout his whole career.
Yeah, really.
Was even
like Wigan.
Bro, I've been speaking about Reece's injuries since we won the Champions League.
Oh wow!
Wow.
And he's had injury problems before then. He had injury problems when he was in the academy. He had his at Wigan. He got injured for a little bit, but he wasn't out for that long. His first season at Chelsea, he didn't start the season because he was injured. His first game was in a Carabao Cup against like a League One side. Was his first start off the bench, I think. The season after that, 2020, 2021, he got injured midway, and then we fell off with Frank. He was rushed back to play against Arsenal. We lost 3-1. Lampard got sacked like a week or two later against Leicester. he didn't start against Atletico Madrid first leg because he was out injured. Cho played at wing back. 21-22, he started off the season well. Chelsea were on fire. He got injured around October, November. Chilwell got injured. Chelsea fell off a cliff. We didn't have anyone to back him up. That was a season when Chelsea fans said, we can go for a title race. And I said, no, because we have no one to back up our only creative source, which was him. The season after that, which was 22-23, Tuchel got sacked. Everything was a mess. He got injured. And then people truly saw that without him, no one else does anything. Havertz and Mount are trash. Last season, he only played 10 games and he got sent off in 2. And this season, he's only played 4 out of 8 games. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. But, like, we do have to plan for an eventuality without him. But
yeah,
I don't know. I was expecting him to be in and out of the team this season. I wasn't expecting him to be an actual starter because of the surgery he had and stuff. But that's why I've been so like positive about him, and I haven't like made any jokes. But like realistically, we'll see, because all these setbacks he keeps happening. It's like it hasn't affected him mentally yet, but it's only going to be a matter of time. It's only going to be a matter of time.
I feel like as well, you kind of just now got to believe in whatever you have that's in competition with him and make sure that it's as straight as possible, just because they're going to be playing a lot of games anyway. So if you, for example, like if Gusto isn't the guy to start week in, week out for Chelsea, and he's not at the level, they need someone they try and find someone that's probably won't find someone that's just as good as Reece James, but someone that is basically a starter at this point. Because I think that's the whole idea with Gusto anyway, because we're not really going to have to rely on Reece James at right back, but if Gusto isn't the guy, then yeah.
I think Gusto is, but the only thing is Maresca's been playing Gusto as a 10, which is stupid. Yeah. Like play Gusto as part of the back 3, or play Fofana at right back, or play Caicedo at right back. Just what I've been calling for this season. I think those are better options in Gusto. And then when Reece is back, just manage his minutes. He doesn't need to play every game. He doesn't need to play a full 90.
Right.
But I don't know. Well, whatever.
I mean, the funny part, they have an academy kid, Ashempa, but the guy doesn't want to
sign a contract. Can't play.
He doesn't want to sign a contract knowing that Reece James has all these injuries. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see, because I think if we sell him, it's only going to be top clubs that will be in for it. And that's the funny thing is, if a Real Madrid or Man City want him, then why would we sell him? Because if they keep him fit, they have the best defender in the world.
Basically. Now, I completely hear that. But here's also the thing as well, because of his injury record, lengthy, because you have to also understand, this injury record is not just something that just started recently. His injury record has been going on now for a while, if you've noticed, Prime, right? Like, when was it? He hasn't played a full season for Chelsea for how long? It's been a long time.
He's never. Well, it depends what you define as full season.
Like, let's say, let's percentage wise, let's say he played like 70 to 80% of the season.
Has he ever done that?
Yeah, that's what I want.
I don't know what the percentage would be, but I would say this 21-22. I would say the season after we won the Champions League.
It's a long time ago.
What's it called? Are we talking about just strictly a Premier League or all comps?
No, basically in all competitions, because I feel like
all comps. Because I'm looking at right now. Damn, he was actually out for a bit. Like he was in 21-22. He was out for 11, 13, 18, 20 games. In I think that's all competition in 21-22, and I think that was not the season that you guys won the Champions League, right? That was not
21,
the season.
21-22.
That was the season after.
21-22 is the season I just mentioned, of the last time he's played consistently.
Yeah, I mean, but that was because I'm asking the question. I'm asking the question but that was not the season that you guys won the Champions League, right?
No, we won it in 2020, 2021. Omar, share my screen, please.
Yeah, because I was just trying to calculate.
Oh, hold on. I see it. How do I do this?
Yeah.
Shit. This.
But I was only looking up because in that season he missed 20 games, so I was thinking, okay, maybe
Give me a second.
that's
Let me
probably
see
the
if I can
season.
share this.
But who knows?
This thing.
Okay. Can you? How can I share this? You guys are gonna have to assist me here.
I know.
Just make sure you click share.
Does it pop up at the bottom next to our names?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, the names. Here it is. I've never done this before, so you guys are gonna have to.
Fair enough.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, this is Reece James injury record since the 22-23 season. So this was the season.
2 years ago.
This is the season Tuchel got sacked, essentially. So
Okay.
87. So since then, 87 games. He's only. Oh, Chelsea played 87 times. He's only made 30 appearances, 22 starts.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Fair.
So, bro, it's actually crazy, like to really think about, right? His injury record, just how crazy it is. This is actually insane. But
And
look,
do you know what would have helped? That I've been calling for, Jez. You surely must remember. I've been calling for years that we needed a backup for him. If
I remember.
if we'd had a backup right back since he broke through at Chelsea, he would not have been rushed back because the 2019-20, or not even at Wigan, he was rushed back because he was by far their best player. His first season at Chelsea, he was rushed back under Frank. He was rushed back under Frank in the Arsenal game in 2020-2021, where he wasn't fit. Him and Chilwell both were not fit to play. And that's why Tuchel kept him out of the side a little bit. Tuchel actually that season did well with Kante and James, who are both injury prone. But the season after we won the Champions League, 2021-2022, that summer he wanted Hakimi, who can play both right and left wing back. We didn't sign anyone. And without James, we had to play Cho, Aspie, Pulisic, Ziyech. None of them are good. And the season afterwards, when Tuchel got sacked, we had no one. And then last year with Poch, it's Poch. Like,
yeah, everyone got injured under Poch because we're training
as much as James is injury prone, we have not helped him at all.
Yeah,
so
that's fair. It's fair. I always like. I know managers got to play their best players, yeah, and I know players, even themselves, when they're not fully fit, they still want to come back as soon as possible. But your careers are short in football, man. Like you got to take time when you come back and stuff. It's not. I'm not blaming that on Reece James, obviously. And like Prime said, like Chelsea have also like rushed him back many times under different managers, and like even Poch's training methods last season didn't help. You see, as soon as he went into the USA manager, there's about 1 million injuries as soon as he joined, and as soon as he got them training as well. Like it wasn't a coincidence. Like. I feel like as well, I always talk about when players get rushed back from injury and they overplay, and with the amount of fixtures going on as well, that they could dip off quite early. I do fear that for him if that was to keep on happening. But at the same time, they've got someone like Maresca now who's better at man management, I'd say, in terms of like managing people's minutes and stuff. And he knows how to manage the two squads, especially with the two competitions you're in. As well, playing a whole new squad. It's kind of common sense for a conference league as well.
Makes me think. Because I was saying yesterday that it's just a little knock that's not really serious. And if that's the case, then why even really speak about it in the press conference? You know, if he didn't speak about it or wasn't asked about it, and then the Leicester lineup comes out, he's not in the squad, I wouldn't be fussed because I don't expect him to play anyway. I wouldn't have expected him to play. But with this, I don't know. Like, it could still just be a precaution thing. Like, he felt something, so might as well get a scan just in case to make sure he's okay. So I'm going to wait until that happens and see what comes of it. So, because it might not be anything that serious. But because it's Reece, we have to take extra care.
Yeah, completely understand that. But yeah, but very quickly, just to, switch gears. Jez, obviously, international break has actually ended, and at the end of the day, I know Prime, I'm sure he's been on your case just like he's been on my case. you know, he's had a great international break, unlike us. But we'll save that for the end of the show. But listen, Premier League is
No,
back,
no, 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 no,
and
no. Just speak on what
no,
happened.
no, no. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. No, no, okay. No, 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 Prime. We will talk.
If you want to address it, we can address it, because I don't care too
We can
much.
address it. Let's address it when the show's about to end. Come on, let's
Okay, okay,
On
cool,
this
cool.
platform, we respect the motherland. Speak on it, Jez. What happened?
No, we will speak. We will speak. Bro, we're not running. Listen, we will not run. Trust me. We will talk about this. We will be here. Listen, but
I'm here.
for now,
I'm here.
let's just okay. He's here. See, Ram, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So we will talk about.
Mike,
Well, look,
Mike's
no,
have to
but
go. So speak on it now.
listen, Mike. No. Listen, let's get to Spurs first before we talk about our nations. But listen, Prime. Now, ever since basically the international break is now over, but before the international break, obviously things were kind of not going your way. You guys did lose to Ipswich before the international break, and I never actually got to ask you because I've been actually talking to a few Spurs fans, right? I was actually speaking recently to Henry for Football Heritage. I was talking to Jacob from United Spurs of America, and to be fair, I've noticed that, like, especially like at Spurs, that game against Ipswich, it's kind of like there's a little bit of a mini division in the Spurs fan base, where you've got some fans who are basically saying that they don't believe in the project that what's his name Ange is doing. You understand what I'm saying? They don't believe that with Ange it's only one way. It's a one way style of football where if it doesn't work out, you're always guaranteed to lose. Basically. And then you have some of those people who are who are supporting Ange, who are saying, listen, at the end of the day, they want to just see the club win a trophy this season. And so far, on paper, you guys are in every competition. You're still in the Carabao Cup, right? Technically, you guys are still in the league. Whether at the end of the day, we're not going to talk about
we're not winning the league, but we're in the Europa League. We're in the Europa League. That's a league that's really
exactly. You're in the Europa League and you're in the FA Cup. So you're in every competition that you need to be in.
Hold on. Are they in AFCON?
Bro, no, this guy.
I know what country is not AFCON.
Prime, don't worry, Prime. Prime, I promise you, we will talk about this, bro.
You were talking about what competition Spurs aren't in. I just thought they weren't. But
this is the thing, bro. You can't talk about the club team about when you're talking about international tournament. That's an international tournament. We'll get to that. But look, at the end of the day, Jez.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, just to stay on track because Prime is trying to sway us. But my point is, right, at the end of the day, at Spurs, right, there is a little bit of a division. There's some fans who are Ange out and they're Ange in. I never actually got a chance to speak to you. Where do you currently stand? Are you one of the people who are like, you're kind of looking at Ange style of football where you're like, it's like a very risky style of football where if it works out, it's great. But then when it doesn't work out, you guys get battered. You understand what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
Or are you kind of like looking at it and saying, well, listen, at the end of the day, are you looking at it more of, I want to see the club win a trophy this season, and technically he could still do it. You understand what I'm saying? So, what do you think?
I've been saying this, man. Ange, man. Like, what's it called? We're not in the title charge anymore. So we can't compete for the league title anymore. No, I'm taking the piss. But you mentioned about how Spurs fans who are Ange don't believe in the project anymore. And my question kind of is like, what project are we even talking about? Because I'm not too sure what project. Because I don't know which project we've been on properly before we built the stadium properly. Like, I think the last proper project was building the stadium. I think that was the only project around Tottenham since. So I don't know exactly what project they're talking about. But if they're talking about Ange Postecoglou, I mean that's fair enough. Because I'm like, look. I had conversations before with Brian. I had conversations probably Mike's brought on streams, or if he listened to me on streams, everybody knows that I'm not Ange. I've probably been on like kind of like people might call me a fence sitter, but I've been kind of like more balanced about the opinion because at the end of the day, I don't really care about screaming Ange out. Like me screaming Ange out doesn't change the fact what's going on at Tottenham, and I just don't have. I'm not at the stage where like, oh, he has to definitely gone. Like by the time I feel like by the time I'm Ange out, he probably is sucked anyway. Just kind of like the way I look at it. But the reason why I don't scream for Ancelotti is most likely just because I don't necessarily believe that any manager comes to Spurs and brings much of a difference. I feel like a lot of people look at small people look at how Arsenal, even though Arsenal is not winning, Arsenal is still doing relatively well compared to us. I think people looking at Chelsea now doing their bits now with Maresca, and I feel like there's records that Ange has which don't go again for him, and I feel like a lot within the fan base, I think a lot of people believe that the team is a lot better than it is. Prime can verify for me. I said anywhere from 6th to 8th, I think Spurs finish, and I think it's possible even with Postecoglou. I still think till even at this stage of the season, and I feel like a lot of people want short-term happiness by okay, we go on to have a good beginning, and then fell off, and then looking for a new manager. Will we not winning anything? Because I had that conversation not too long ago in a group chat I'm in, and we was looking through the last couple of managers. This Pochettino, I think every single manager had roughly about the same time. Each manager, outside Nuno, each manager had roughly about 14 to 18 months at max, with Postecoglou being at the most at the moment. And
they all
so
have
far,
similar records, bro, as well.
everyone has similar records. Everyone feels like the same. Where it starts off well, and people can say what they want to say about Jose. It started off well, and the Conte it started off well outside the Conference League, obviously. The Conte started off well, and the Ange started off well. Nuno was the only, even under Nuno, it started off well, even though it was for the shortest. But then, as the trend went on, people started expecting more from the team, thinking we should be doing more than we are doing. Managers get upset because of the infrastructure within Tottenham, and then everything goes for shit. The players just not performing. The managers can't get results, and the managers out of here. That's why I'm asking kind of like the question: what project are we talking about here? There is no project at Tottenham to believe in. To sit here and say I want this manager sacked because I believe this manager can actually do well in this project. There is no project. So for me, it's like I'm rather here at the moment of time, hoping that Ange can kind of find stability within the team in terms of player quality, because I've been screaming about how in reality this team just needs more quality, and I've been saying this in the summer how I liked our summer signings, but I've been always talking about how we needed more, and it was clear, obvious. No, Romeo's out injured. I don't know how long. Van de Ven is out injured.
Bentancur is
I think
suspended.
Bentancur is not suspended because he thinks all Asians look the same. So he's out. That's what he said. That's what he said.
No, you know what, right? You know what?
That's what he said.
No. But that's my point, right? See, this is the thing, bro. I can't deal with certain kind of ignorance, right? Certain kind of ignorance, I can't deal with it, bro. Like, okay, that's like me, because think about it, right? Me, Prime, and Jess, right? We're all black, right? But guess what?
Yeah.
You can tell we're three different people. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If I go to any nation, any Asian nation, whether it's South Korea, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, wherever you are, right? Yes, will I see similar futures? Yes, I'll see similar futures. But I can tell two people from each other. Okay, just because me and Prime are black doesn't mean that you can't tell between me and Prime. That's the only future that we have in common. Like seriously, like
bro. Like, I just the three is as well. It's not even just that. Yeah, he might not even like what's it called. It might be just in one of those things, where he doesn't even think all Asians look the same, but he just said it because he's ignorant. Like it's a case of like he's just having a conversation.
No, but South Americans are notorious for doing this.
Yeah, he's just like, they all look the same anyway because he just got them confused. Like,
no, but this is the thing. We've seen this. You guys remember what happened in the Copa America? When that incident happened, right? We all were all on a fuss on that. Did you see how these people reacted? Did they sit there and apologize? No. They doubled down into why they were doing what they were doing. And this is so synonymous with South American nations, right? These guys are racist, and they're openly racist. They don't even care if people don't like if they don't like the way they handle things. They will stand by their words. Did you remember when Suarez what he did to Evra?
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
Yeah, remember?
Do
Yeah.
you remember? He didn't come out. He didn't come out and apologize. He sat there and said, "Listen, man, this is what I do when I'm in my nation." Who
Do you
cares,
remember
bro?
what Cavani did when he was at United?
Who?
I don't know
Who?
about the Cavani one. Could you tell me?
You remember? Did he
Oh, I
call?
think I know which number.
Did he not call a player negro or something?
I
Yeah,
don't
it
remember.
was. I think it wasn't international. It wasn't international. I think. I don't think it was in a when he was playing for United within a game. But I think when he was on a international break. I think.
But I meant when he was at United, like
Yeah,
United.
obviously at United. Yeah, at the time when he was United. Yeah.
Bro, but but this is the thing, bro. South American ignorance is something I've noticed. Like it's even worse because you know what it is with like certain countries in Europe, right, and in the Americas, right. You know, in certain countries where you're gonna deal with this, and you know what? Some of them they know that they're wrong, they just don't care, right?
Mm.
The thing with South Americans is that with them is that they are all the same, and they all. I'm not saying they're the same based on appearance, but I'm saying that
Yeah.
with the racist, with the people who
Yeah.
are racist and ignorant, they don't even try to like teach themselves and understand that there's more to what they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? There's more
Yeah.
to when they say some things, what it means. You understand what I'm saying, right? When you're
Yeah.
saying words, like how much some of these words, what the reason behind these things, they just think, oh well, I do it in my home, so at the end of the day that makes it okay. It doesn't make it okay. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
listen, this is something we see all the time, even in my country, right? A lot of people in my country in America, they do their thing, they do their thing here, and when they go to other nations, they do try to do the same things there, and they think, well, I do it in America, why can't I do it here? No, respect the other country's rules, man. Like some of these people, they don't understand, man. Like I can't go to your house just because I put my shoes on in my house. I can't go to Prime's house and put my dirty shoes on his carpet. You understand
Fuck
what
it, I
I'm
do.
saying, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it,
No,
I
no,
do.
but that is the point. At the end of the day,
But then you have no more.
no, but
You man. Go. Like,
Okay, hey, big up,
hey,
man.
yeah, big up, Max, right? Yeah, I know it's gonna be kicking off very, very soon with these guys, man. It's
Yeah,
gonna be great.
I don't.
But listen,
Actually, let me actually go on in because obviously Graham wants to talk about it as well. Omar,
go
you
on.
started off asking, so now it's like, and this is the funny part about it because obviously our captain is literally Asian himself, and the whole country literally supports Tottenham. So it's kind of like it doesn't really help. But one thing to obviously quickly speak on that is what I'm more disappointed about it is because how the football club has kind of like behaved on that manner. Because I do think there should have been a bit more actions required outside, like because from what I know, what it was is that Son and Bentancur had a conversation, and Son put a post on how he had a conversation with him and with Bentancur, how everything is fine and how it shouldn't be cleared the mother up pretty much. But just because a mother was cleared doesn't mean that for other people's cleared. Like you know how big Sun support is in South Korea. So I feel like what you could have done as a football club is kind of like put out some sort of action to kind of show that now the football club takes these things very seriously regarding racism in general. And I can understand it because obviously, as you mentioned earlier, we black ourselves. So it's not like we never seen racism for ourselves. So um I'm just disappointed how the club kind of.
Is the Prem, right?
Sorry, what do you say?
This ban he's getting is
Yeah,
it from?
seven Premier League matches. Yeah.
No. But who is the ban from?
Is it from the
I think it's
Premier
from the
League?
FA. I think it's from the FA. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, FA ban. The FA banned
Even
banned
though
it for
he
seven.
was on international duty, the FA can ban him.
I think it was an international break during the period. Yeah, it wasn't an interview. It wasn't an interview that he did. That wasn't with the international team. That was with the That was just an interview that he just happened to make, and the commentator or the person who interviewed him asking about Son, and then this is how the comment came out.
But see,
And
that's my thing, isn't it, right? Because you know what it is. If you're so comfortable to be in an interview and just say that, it just speaks a
I
lot
think he
about your
didn't.
nature.
Like what I can say is that it's like you said, it's a bit of arrogance, ignorance, in a manner of thing to say these things. But I think he was just that comfortable because I think that interview wasn't Uruguay. So he was, I think he was holding his daughter, I think it was his daughter, yeah, as well. Like so, he was clearly comfortable in a comfortable environment where he felt like I can say that with only. and without any repercussions. And the interview was also in Uruguayan as well, so he maybe thought that people wasn't gonna people not gonna see the video, but then like the Argentina video, it came out,
Mm.
and yeah, but I'm just disappointed from all. Even I'm a bit disappointed in Son only because I feel like I said this to actually somebody who's South Korean who actually supports Spurs as well, where we had the
Mm.
conversation about it, and I felt like um even though yes, Son did say it doesn't take it to him, I still feel like Son should have made it a little bit of a bigger issue so that people see the awareness. Because what I see in the fan base is that people trying to excuse what Bentancur said by saying it's just a joke. It's not a joke.
It's not a
It's not a
joke,
joke.
bro.
So for me, and I feel like a lot of people do not understand why people, especially South Koreans or Asians in general who support the football club, feel offended by it. So I feel like that's the only part where I feel with Sam he could have made it maybe a bigger deal so people take it a bit more
Yeah,
seriously.
and that's the thing, isn't it? I feel like, you know what? I get it. If you're friends with someone who is that ignorant, as a friend, you have to call them out on that. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you
Yeah.
feel like maybe they don't understand and they don't see basically basically they don't understand like how much their words would actually offend or hurt some of these people, right? You
Yeah.
as a friend should come out and say, listen, because I'm from this nation, I'm telling you, you messed up. You understand what I'm saying? It's the reason why I'm
Yeah.
pissed. I'm trying to explain to you, because at the end of the day, don't get it twisted. Every single person in this world, whether you're black, white, Asian, wherever you are from the world, right? There's certain side of the world who treat people very differently. You understand what I'm saying, right? People
Yeah.
think it's a black thing or an Asian thing, bro. Even like when you live in our nations, right? We're Africans, everyone here, right? If we go to
Yeah.
some parts of our countries, there is some
No,
of
I wish I'm
our
German.
old
I'm
people
German.
who, yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just threw
Yeah, no,
away
I
his
just
Ghanaian.
had,
He
just had to
he
clear, I
just
had to
threw away
clarify.
his Ghanaian passport. He just said,
I had to clarify. I had to clarify. Just saying.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what.
I said
no,
I'm German. I'm saying
he's
German.
German. I just said African. We're all three Africans. Said I'm German. Yeah, I'm American, and Prime is Irish. So yeah, we're good.
As a German, Jez, what do you think of African?
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So let me obviously finish with the Spurs point. Let me finish the Spurs point.
No,
Then
yeah,
we can
okay,
get to
finish.
yeah.
Spurs.
And now like so pretty much overall, obviously before we went into the Spencer Cole thing a little bit, overall I'm not unsure because I just don't think necessarily neither are the managers out there who I believe in the free agent market who can come to Spurs and who are better than Ange. Neither do I actually believe even managers in job would want to come to this Spurs job. Obviously, one of my two options that I would love to have if Ange were to get sacked were Sebastian Hoeneß, and ironically, Amran was in my top two, them two. But obviously, Amran he's been playing the waiting game because he knew better jobs are probably coming in for him, and Man United is a better job to be in than Tottenham, in my opinion. And I feel like Sebastian Hoeneß, this could be the same thing. Bayern Munich can call any time, in my opinion, and you don't know, like company is doing well in the league, but is it convincing at Bayern? Is it really convincing? Do you really think that company long term can be the guy that Bayern need at the moment? Well, Sebastian Hoeneß has shown already already shown in the Bundesliga and also in the Champions League that he can do probably a much better job at Bayern Munich. Considering that he's also German as well, it will just boost the whole cases for why he could become the next Bayern manager. Who knows? Even maybe the next Dortmund manager, because it's not like Dortmund hasn't just signed two players from Dortmund. No one, even though no one that Stuttgart isn't that far away from Dortmund, ironically. So who knows? But kind of like my point is that I'm just not, unless it gets super bad with Ange, I don't feel you will see me ever scream about being Ange out because, like I mentioned before, people talking about projects. I'm asking what is the project, and for when was the last time we had a project? Of course, the last time we had a proper project was building the stadium. Yeah, but that's me
Yeah,
though.
crazy, isn't it? And that's actually a project that they actually were serious about.
Yeah, that's the last
No,
one.
but
That's the
listen,
last
I
thing.
completely
Yes.
hear that. And listen, at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, I understand. I feel like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that Ange is the guy who's going to take you guys to the promised land and all that. But listen, at the end of the day, let's be real. he's still technically, at the end of the day, he said in the beginning of the season, he said that at the end of the day, I win in my second seasons, right? He
So he's
says I win
obviously in my
everywhere
second season,
in my
yeah.
second season. Exactly. He came out and said that. And for me, I admire the
The
how do
confidence,
I
yeah.
put it? Yeah, the confidence, right? At the end of the day, as fans, that's what you want to hear. You want to at least hear with your coach. He believes in himself enough to say that, listen, I'm going to go for it. And if it doesn't work out, listen, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I just feel like people should give him a shot to at least try. You understand what I'm saying, right? He's still in every single cup competition. He just knocked City out of the Carabao Cup. You understand what I'm saying, right? Your next game is against United.
In the Carabao Cup. Yeah, and for me, this is kind of like where I've been looking at it from a perspective of, because one thing also probably why I'm not so against the manager is because unlike the last managers, he's actually the last manager that I know they're actually taking responsibility, understanding that, you know what, even though, it's easy because you know how it is in football. It's easy to blame the players, it's easy to blame the football clubs, it's easy to blame the owners. He's sitting here saying after Ipswich, he said, let me go and get the exact quote, but to paraphrase it, he was talking about how it's his responsibility, how that things are not going well at Tottenham, and how he has to get it together. Let me get the quote. Let me find the quote because I'm trying to find it. That was
No, go ahead.
Man, why is because I know Fabrizio posted it and no, I can't find it. Post the quote.
Listen, guys, you make sure you guys smash the likes, man. Let's get these likes up. Come on, guys. But listen, but look, at the end of the day, like I said, he's still in every single competition. At the end of the day, listen, they're playing United next. It's in the Spurs Stadium. It's a home game.
Yeah,
I still think that it's a home game. Listen, at the end of the day, who knows? At the end of the day, I feel like, who are left in the Carabao Cup right now, right? Because Chelsea got knocked out against Newcastle, right? Liverpool, I know, are still there, right? Okay, so it's Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham, United. Who else is in it? Prime. Do you know?
I'm trying to think.
The Carabao Cup. Okay, sorry. I can bring it up.
Yeah, if you could bring it up, that would be actually good. Yeah.
Omar, share my screen, please.
All right. I can't see it. Can you? Here it is. I see it.
The Carabao Cup. Southampton, Stoke, Brentford, Sheffield United, Brighton, Liverpool, Villa, Palace, United, Leicester, Newcastle. Oh, sorry. Where's the next round?
Yeah, I think this is the.
Yeah,
sorry, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Arsenal, Palace, Newcastle, Brentford. Oh, we would have played Brentford. Fuck. Yeah, Southampton, Liverpool, Spurs, United.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, if you look at it this way, Prime. Do we know who we're going to be playing in the semi? Have they done the semi-final draw, or is that after the game?
No, we haven't. Yeah, they haven't done the draw yet. So they're going to draw it after the quarterfinals. And look, obviously we don't fancy playing Liverpool. We don't fancy playing Arsenal, of course, because I do think they're better than us. But I keep saying this. We had 2 games. I've been saying this for the longest now since we have drawn at United. We're 2 games away from a final.
But Jez, it's a Mickey Mouse run, so who cares?
Hey, Brian, don't start me on that, man. Don't start me on that.
You're gonna sell your soul for a Carabao Cup, man. Come on,
man, whatever, man. But I didn't say those things. There's other people saying that, but I'm not gonna say the names, man. I'm not gonna say the names. But what's it called? But even if you look at the team names, they're all just Arsenal, Liverpool. Be 2 games away from the final. I'm sorry, like we have to just get it done and be at home against United. I know Amarin might have to do manager bounce. The feeling is better at United. United fans are obviously going to be confident, and 100%. Why would you not be confident against a team that has just lost Ipswich before the international break? We don't know if Romero or Van der Ven going to be available for that game. So I'm 100%. Why should you as a United fan not be confident? But for me, this is where it goes down to Ange's comment that he said, which I found out is obviously this Postecoglou that said after Ipswich, he said, inconsistency this season is down to me. That's my responsibility. The inconsistency we are having this year ultimately comes down to me and my approach. It's something I need to try and fix and see if I can help the players in that area. So, like I mentioned, unlike other managers, he's actually the first one to come out and actually say, "It's me." There's things, obviously, me personally, I think that's more than just him, but he's coming out and saying that I understand that we're not doing well and we should be doing a lot better, which I agree with the narrative that we should be doing a lot better. I'm not saying that we should be on up there with City and Liverpool, but at least just do better. Like a win against Ipswich would have put us above Chelsea and Arsenal, ironically. This how much this table can switch in this current moment of time. And he knows that we have to do better. But look, this is where I look at Ange and say, let's see how I looked at our running till December, and it's quite difficult to be honest, especially with the injuries that we have. And this is where I need to see but also where I need to see where's the mindset of this team. Is this team just gonna give up on the manager as well, and everybody sings together, and he's gonna get sacked, or do they actually, for the one time since Pochettino properly, the team actually wants to respond against bad form and actually want to show that, you know what, yeah, we're not gonna go and compete for the league title, but we can make a run in the Europa League. Let's see what we can do against Man United. Let's see what we can do with the FA Cup. Let's try and finish fourth, fifth, sixth in the Europa League, and we go from there. If we don't win a trophy for me this season, it's not going to be the end of the world for me. But what I want to see, which I haven't seen Spurs do in the long term, is make deep runs in competitions. Because I think what can also help the team is knowing how to get through knockout competition against worse and better teams. Like the last time we made a final was under Jose, and look how long that's been. And that final we sucked them a week before this final. I disagree with that, but it is what it is. It is what it is, in it, because it's been a long time. But since then, what was it? Yeah.
It was 6 days.
6 days.
Yes, 6 days, 1 week is the same thing. It's literally just 1 day difference. It's the same thing. But now, but what I was saying is, I want to see the team just making deep runs in competition, like the Carabao Cup. We haven't progressed from that last round since 2022, I think. From that, in the first round that Spurs always go into, we always go out immediately in the last 3 years. FA Cup, we win the first game, we go out in the second game. This is what it's been like for the last few years. Carabao Cup, like I mentioned, Champions League. Yeah, we maybe get Champions League in the contest season. We go through the group stages, but the group stages really and truly we shouldn't have made it through. But we somehow made it because Marseille is just Marseille. So it is what it is. But then we went out in the round of 16. I just want to see the team be able to make these deep runs and then learn as a team.
Jez, remember I said when we had that conversation that Ange will take the cup competition seriously because he wants to win something.
Yeah, and I think I agree. Didn't I agree with you?
Yeah, no, I know you did. I'm just saying because like I've been saying that like all season. That's part of why I have Spurs finishing so low as well. I don't think they have the depth to compete both for top four and also win.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Personally, from a guy watching from the outside, I completely understand that. Because if you think about it, right, this club, this fan base has been starved of success. You understand what I'm saying, right? They haven't seen this club hasn't seen this club win a trophy for over what? Bro, it's been what, 16 years? Because you know how I think about it.
I think 08, 09 has been, I think, since.
That's my, it's 07, 08 actually. In the 07,
07, 08. Either one of them, I think it was.
Because this is the thing. The reason I know this is because the reason I know this is because in 08 is when my younger sister was born. So I always try to think of how old my younger sister is, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the last time. That's how long it's been since you guys have won a trophy. My point is, and this is not even me. No, Prime. I'm not actually throwing shots. That's how I literally gauge when was the last time they won a trophy. I can't.
It technically is. So it's like I'm not really offended by it. So yeah, technically, what it is.
But see, this is my point, right? They've been that long, right? And listen, at the end of the day, I feel like with a lot of Spurs fans, Prime.
Jez, did Spurs sell Sissoko?
Yeah, we sold him. Yeah. Why?
He's at
Watford?
What? Yeah, he's back at Watford. Like he left Watford. Even he wasn't there at Watford last season. He wasn't there.
Okay,
Where
I
was
didn't
he?
know. My bad.
No, he was in front. He was in France. Like we sold him first to Watford. Then he left Watford for France, and then he went back to Watford for whatever reason.
Jeez.
Never-
Oh, they sold him. Oh, they sold him. Was it Nantes? He was at Nantes, right?
And
That's
Nantes,
where he-
yeah, Nantes. There we go. And then he was there for a couple of seasons, and then he went back to Watford.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? At the end of the day, I feel like this club have been starved of success, and a lot of Tottenham fans have kind of been seeing how the club has been going in top four, going to Champions League, not really doing anything. And basically, you've been seeing like clubs like Leicester, like even Arsenal, like Chelsea, West Ham, all of these
Yeah,
clubs, right, winning trophies, right? And a lot of these fans are like, "Yo, we are watching all these clubs win trophies. When are we gonna actually like end our drought?" And I feel like with Ange, he's looking more at that than looking for winning a trophy. I'm
I mean,
sorry,
it's
trying to
possible.
challenge
I
for
mean,
the league. You understand what I'm saying, right?
but
Because if
no,
you think
I
about
mean
it,
that's possible.
because think about it.
Yeah.
If Ange wins you guys the Carabao Cup, he's ended your trophy drought. You understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? He
yeah.
on paper is more success. He's your best, most successful
He's a
manager,
successful manager since then.
trophy
Yeah,
wise, since
yeah, since
Juan
then.
de Ramos. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? Right? I know there've been a lot of my good managers who've come into Tottenham, but none of those guys have been able
they
to
haven't
win you guys
won.
a trophy. You understand what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
agree, and I agree, and I measure it the same way. Like even despite what Pochettino has done for the football club was a lot, but at the end of the day, he didn't win us anything. So it's kind of like I always gonna value winning trophies more than having moments. Like obviously Champions League, making the Champions League final, especially the manner we did, probably one of the biggest moments. Even if we was winning trophies, will still be one of our biggest moments in general. But winning a trophy is just important, and I feel like it keeps it keeps long term interest in terms of footballers wanting to come to the football club, and not just not younger ones, but players who have a bit more ambitions about themselves want to come to the football club, and it keeps also players happy within the football club. So it's kind of like I'm looking from a perspective where if this is Ange's mindset, but then although then it's also very important for him to get it done then, because he can't be getting these results that he's been getting in the league just and then not win a trophy. So I think that this is an issue at Spurs. I feel like there needs to be a balance. Not saying that he have like for me. I keep saying this. He doesn't even have to get for me. He doesn't even have to me get me Champions League football this season. I'm fine if we get me Europa League this season again, or even Conference League, because I don't think the team is that good, to be honest. But what I want, like you mentioned, what I want to see is show me how good we are. Show me how good you are managing cup games, because I believe cup games are so different from league games. The dynamic, knowing the fact that this might be the last game that we could play in this competition, there's a lot more factors to it. I think we are like 11 or 12 games in the Premier League. We still have so much time left. Like Chelsea was sitting mid-table mostly all season, pretty much last season, and they still were able to. If they didn't fuck up a couple more results, they could have gotten top four over Villa and Spurs last season. This whole much I don't rate this whole much I really don't rate the Premier League after the top three, and even now these times around, Arsenal haven't been good at all. So yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just far from the point where I believe that I'm far from the point where I believe where Ange bigger man, to the point where I believe Ange has to go. But where I do believe when he has to go is when it gets too ugly. Let's say you lose to Man United in a bad way because the game's at home. If in Europa League we somehow, because we're currently in the top eight still, but we somehow still can't qualify in the top eight considering the rest of the teams that we have to play. Let's say an early exit against in the FA Cup, then and then in the league we're still inconsistent. Then I think the arguments from getting them out are more fair. But then I, I'll probably still stay consistent even with a new manager. What project are people talking about at Tottenham? There isn't a project at Tottenham. There isn't, and until there is a project at Tottenham, then I can be a bit more invested. At this moment in time, I'm not invested. I still watch Tottenham games. I still talk Tottenham like I'm on the platform right now, but I'm just not as invested anymore because at this point, I'm kind of asking. I'm asking my question like, what's the point? What's the point of watching this football club? Because obviously, Omar, you there? Oh, you're there. Okay, because your camera's kind of like going away. But yeah, because
Yeah,
I support. Okay, you're here. Okay, cool. Because I support the Thunder, OKC Thunder. You
what's
there?
that?
I support
Yeah,
the
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oklahoma. Yeah, okay. How I support Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how you can see how the progression has gone ever since we traded Westbrook and Paul George and all these guys. I'm kind of making like this
Yeah, I
comparison
hear.
how how OKC got rid of the old core, started to rebuild, and every season, some seasons it was terrible, but every season
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
actually a progression. And now the team is at the point where people talking about how Oklahoma can compete for the title.
Yeah, Gilgis
And
Alexandra is doing his thing at
yeah, man.
OKC.
And
Yeah,
so for me, with Oklahoma, I'm going to be invested because I can see where it's trying to go. And if it fails, it fails. But at least I can see something. At Tottenham, I don't see anything in terms of a project, anything that makes me believe that we trying to go into the direction where the Spurs can compete. And in the end of the day, if you're an owner, why would you really care? Like our owners didn't came from a background where our owners were investors to begin with, so they only really care about making more money in the
that's
end
what
of the
it
day.
is. That's really what
So
it is.
so if we qualify for even the Premier League, even if you finish in a Europa League spot, look how much money you make. Like we make more money, by not winning trophies than winning certain trophies. I think we make more money even if we could win the Champions League and we don't get as much money as finishing top 4 here in England.
That's my point.
So so the
And that's the
issue
thing.
is like
We know
so when
what we know, but we know what owners are like. See, this is the thing. We are not stupid. We understand it. This is why sometimes, like, don't get it twisted. This is why for me, I'm grateful that I support a club like Barca, because at least with Barca, it's not an owner's thing, it's a president's thing. And if the president doesn't do well, the associates will literally get him out. You understand what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
how we got rid of
but
Bartomeu.
yeah,
Bartomeu, right? When we lost 8-2 to Bayern, when finances was looking like a mess, we were basically looking like the absolute pits. You understand what I'm saying,
yeah,
right? The
yeah,
pressure was so ridiculous, he had to leave. You understand what I'm saying,
yeah,
right? And I
yeah.
feel like,
But then,
and I feel
but
like,
then even then
I have
over
to,
there in Spain, you guys have the election, so the president
but that's
doesn't
my
stay
point.
consistently there. Yeah,
And that's my point. So think about it this way, right? If someone like Daniel Levy, if a mindset like that existed in a club like Tottenham, right, where Daniel Levy where there's always elections, right? At the end of the day, Daniel Levy would want the club to win trophies, because that is how he can guarantee that the fans will vote for him. You understand what I'm saying?
yes,
Because the fans
yeah,
don't care about how much money the club is making. They care
yeah,
about what success the club is bringing. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So at the end of the day, even if the owners and the people that run the club are saying, well, it is what it is, at the end of the day, we're still making money, we're still finishing top 4 and all of the light, right? The fans will still say it's not good enough. We want to see it. Why are we not trying to win the Carabao Cup? Why are we not trying to win the FA Cup? Why is it that when we win the conference we didn't go and win it? Why are we not why didn't we
why are we not
why
trying
are
to
we
be
not
just
doing
why are we
exactly
not
why
trying to
are
be
we
competitive? Yeah,
exactly
I'm at the point where I'm asking to be competitive, like where I can take this team seriously going into a season. Like I'm not saying go and win me the league title, go and win me the Champions League. Shit, I'm happy if we were at Sevilla, where you get Champions League here and there, you try and win the Europa League,
then you go to
because then I
Europa League
understand
and win it. Yeah.
and it's cool by me. And I think a lot of Tottenham fans would be happy with that as well. Obviously, would we like to aim higher? Yes, and considering how much money we do make, we can technically aim higher, yeah. But at least let there be a minimum at bare minimum. But the issue is the bare minimum isn't even trying to compete for second tier trophies or third tier trophies. So for me, I'm looking at the way I'm looking at it is like, why should I be invested?
And that's
I'm
my
not
point.
going to be.
And I completely understand
I'm
that.
not going to be invested. Like people have asked me why I don't make YouTube, like in terms of football, because I really don't want to talk about Tottenham even if we win
Jess,
matches. I
then you
can't be
also
asked.
have Spurs fans who are like, I want us to finish as high as we can and get top 4, and
Mhm.
because they don't care about the car. They'll call
They
like
don't care about.
the
That's the thing,
Carabao
bro.
Cup
Like,
and Mickey Mouse.
my
And I
thing
remember
is,
when
my thing
I
is, Prime.
remember. Hold on, I remember
Yeah,
when
go
they
ahead,
were
go
in the
ahead, go ahead.
Conference League,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I was saying that like Spurs should go target that to win, and
Yeah.
Spurs fans telling me that, oh no, why do I want to win the Conference League? We'll just get made fun of, and I was like, but why? It's a trophy. Who cares?
No, but that's the thing though, Bram. But like I remember what you're talking about because I had the conversation in a Spurs culture, and some of them didn't want him to finish seventh. They were happy to give Villa the seventh place for us to finish eighth and then have no Europe. Obviously, other factors included, but most of them didn't want to be in the Conference League. And I'm like, I don't really care if other fans like, and this is just the way I am. If it's the other person saying this, this is their opinion, and if they do, I agree with it. No, but the way I am as a person,
I know
like what what I'm saying as like the way I'm in with the person is like it's just that I've never been a person that cares what other rivals to be saying. Like if Arsenal fans tell me my team is shit, or Chelsea fans might say my team is shit, or whatever. I've never been somebody who cares about these things. So
I know.
if you win the
That's
Conference League, I don't care.
my
Yeah,
point
I know
is-
what you call. Yeah,
No, my point is a lot of your fans do think this way. That's why Levy can do what he does.
And
get
that's
away
my
with it.
point. See,
A
that's
lot
the
of your
truth.
fans,
That is
a
so
lot of
true.
your fans will accept like Mourinho getting sacked 6 days before a final because they think it's
Yeah.
okay. A lot of your fans
but
will accept like I know there were circumstances as to why you didn't get out of your Conference League group. I understand
Yeah.
the circumstances, but
yeah, but we were doing the shit. We weren't good in that group.
accepted it. Spurs
Okay, you
fans
guys
will
lost to
accept-
Noah. Didn't you guys lose to
Spurs
Noah
fans-
in that Conference League?
And-
I'm sure
No,
you
it wasn't. I don't think it was Noah. It was a different team.
But
It was a different team.
regardless, your fans accept this. That's why Levy can do what he does.
No, but that's the issue though, Bram. Like even let's say even in a way where let's say more fans are more not accepting this. The issue is they can't force the guy out of the football club. Look at how much money is involved in this. I'm using the same example all the time. If I was in Levy's place, respectfully, I'd do the same shit. Levy makes the most money in the league as the chairman. He's number one in the league in terms talk about you have Chelsea chairmen, you have City chairmen, Liverpool chairmen, Arsenal chairmen. Levy makes the most. For what? For what though? Like why is he earning the most? Exactly. This is my whole point. Is like even if the fans were more like no, we have to do better. We have to do better. It's just too much money at this point. It's too much. Spurs, in terms of just match day revenues, we're in the top 10 in football in the world. Look at how many franchises out there. Look at how many franchises out there. Like we talk about Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Spurs is in those conversations.
Yes, but that's because your fans like people say you're a happy clapper. Your fans are happy clappers. They accept this.
They
That-
really are.
but-
If we're being real.
Hold on.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Hold on. If Levy felt that it would affect the revenue, affect the money, he would do something.
But I see this issue though. I disagree though because I think there was even at times where Spurs fans, even if it wasn't as much as it should be, there were times where Spurs fans were really upset of how things were going, especially after this Jose, after the way how Jose ended as well, and then Ryan Mason came in, and then Nuno came in. So that was really an upsetting thing, and I feel like even if Spurs wanting to have more. Spurs fans want to me because I do agree with the overall point that you're trying to say because we had so many different conversations with other Spurs fans on other platforms about these things. I've seen Spurs fans say they don't really care if Ange wins us a Carabao Cup this season because what is a Carabao Cup to them? This is what they said with their old mouths, and I disagree with those things. I really do. But
Nah, I hear
even if let's say even if more people had the same mindset as me in terms of how the way I look at it, I still think it's not enough to get people like them out of the football club. They can do more a little bit, but how much is more? But how much is more? This is the question.
At least I'm not saying it would make Spurs say a title threat or a Champions League threat, but like you said, do what Sevilla did. Take the Europa League seriously. Take a Conference League seriously. Take the Carabao Cup or FA Cup seriously. But the fact is, your fans accept this, which means for Levy, it's okay. If Levy felt it would affect his money, he would. If Spurs fans, you're right, Spurs fans have done little bits here and there, but if you guys were consistent and he felt it would affect his money, he would at least try.
No, I heard that. I heard that. Now I agree. I agree with that. Like I put it as a factor onto why the club is so comfortable, and even though the club hasn't done anything in years, but like I mentioned, I still believe that even if Spurs fans were to make a difference in terms of how they feel about how things are going, I just still don't think it would be enough. That's just the way I personally think. Do I disagree with what you say? No, but because I mean, shit, we had conversations with people who were happy that Jose got sacked 6 days before the final. We had the conversations, and you know how we don't have these conversations no more because it would just literally last for a whole day. But it's like, look, it's just a difficult situation. I think like what it is with me, and a lot of Spurs fans, the way who think like me, a lot are just hoping that eventually in the next upcoming years, where things could change, because there have been rumors for a quite long time now that how people could be investing in shares into Tottenham. That these rumors been there. I think even somebody like Bodie wanted Tottenham actually to buy. He actually wanted to fully buy Tottenham a couple of years ago, but Levy was asking for too much money.
Bro,
So
that's
so
crazy,
so
man.
so so the news are out there. So I don't know. I can't say how many years this would happen, those scenarios, but this is currently where my hope is, because like
No,
I mentioned, there's a lot of factors. It's just too many factors. There's fans who are happy that we don't win certain
I get
things.
all of that, Frank.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
but let
Yeah,
me
man.
say this right very quickly. See, for someone like me, who's a Barca fan, right? It's very hard for me to really. How do I put this? It's very hard for me to just accept. You understand what I'm saying, right? The same things
Nah.
always happen in every season, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
for me, I can't understand what it's like to be a Spurs fan, because there are some
Yeah.
Spurs fans who have expectations. You understand what I'm saying? They want to see the
Yeah.
club keep doing their thing. And I think what really hurts is that I feel bad for those fans, because with those fans, right, they have expectations, but the club doesn't resonate with that expectation, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
but
I feel like where it's sadder is when some of these
Okay.
fans who have been so invested, who are so like used to like now winning, they just accept, right, the mediocrity, right? At the end of the day, the fact that some of these fans were saying, I would rather not be in Europe than be in the Conference League. I'm sorry, did you guys remember when West Ham won that trophy? A lot of people were trolling Tottenham fans. Why? Because West Ham won a trophy. I don't care. They didn't care. It was the conference. It's a flipping trophy, not just a trophy.
bro,
It's a European trophy
bro,
on paper.
Omar,
A
I've had
legitimate trophy.
conversations. Yes, I've had
Yeah.
conversations with Spurs fans about like when people talk about how great like what Poch did during that time, and I was like, but at the end of it, Leicester won a Prem and an FA Cup in 3 years. It's West Ham
Yeah.
having Europa League with David Moyes, as bad as he is. Like, there's no excuse to not do something when you have a great period, because it doesn't last forever. The same way I speak about Arsenal now. This title run, it's not going to last for long. You have to win something when the iron is hot. You have to strike.
I've been saying this about Arsenal. Like, there are literally us under Pochettino at the current state how they going. How the similarities are ironic, but ironic being both teams being in North London as well is super ironic. But now I agree with you, Bram. Like, and you know my thoughts about Pochettino's time and how I had many clash with other Tottenham fans when speaking. I don't speak as high. I speak highly about the players because I really do believe if we had a better manager at the time, we win more. But I don't speak as highly about the manager because, as you mentioned, the team. Even if the bench wasn't as good as it should have been, and the backup there, team was still good enough to win trophies regardless. So I don't really I still put Poch in high regards, but not as high as other Tottenham fans, because for me it's just too big of a black mark considering how good the team was. So I do agree with you, Brian. But look, like you said, Omar, with your point about how it's hard for you as a Barcelona fan, how hard it is for you to not accept that. But then at the same time, I feel like a lot of Barcelona fans also would would understand you a lot more, and they would speak out. But with us, like Brian mentioned, there is a good section of the fan base who are fine, not sometimes winning not to be in certain competitions, not to win certain competitions because they don't want to be in those. Like, how many times had I had conversations with Spurs fans? Would I rather do I rather want to win the FA Cup and finish and finish sixth or finish Champions League football? And there's been many times where Spurs fans have said they would rather get Champions League football. I've been saying for the longest, please don't bring me Champions League football if you can't win the Champions League. What the fuck is the point of that? Like, yeah, you can get better
Yeah, it's
players,
just
but
being in the Champions League.
what like ironically, Spurs has gotten more times than not. Spurs get always more better players when we're not in the Champions League. That's the ironic part about it.
Because you know why I feel like you know why that is. It's because at the end of the day, the plan is to be in the Champions League. That's the objective, not to win a trophy, get in the Champions League. So when you are in the Champions League, why do you need to try? You've already got the team that
Don't have to join. You'll be in there.
And then when you don't make it, and when you don't make it out of the group, or you are in the Champions League next season, then he goes out and says, all right, we need to actually go and get some other players. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But listen,
yeah.
Before we do wrap up, listen, the international break obviously is ended. But listen, I know, our guy in the middle, he's been kind of just been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Look at him, he's just closing his stream. He's actually coming back. I know he's coming back. But look, oh my days. He had to just put on the glass. He had to take out the screen and just put on the glass. Listen, Prime, obviously, me and obviously I'm American, Jazz is German, but our second nation, Gambia, my country, they didn't make it to the AFCON, unfortunately.
No one heard you, bro. Turn your mic off. We didn't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
Omar spoke.
Oh, Omar. Okay, fair enough.
I said that.
Hey, can we actually talk about how Nigeria lost to Rwanda?
No.
I don't care that you qualified. I don't know. Listen, Rwanda. Are you kidding me, bro?
Omar was speaking. Let him speak.
Go on, Omar. Omar, don't have it, Omar. Don't have it.
No, I won't. Yeah, okay, listen. Obviously, we lost against Comoros, but to my defense, we didn't play a single home game. All our games were in Morocco, right? So we didn't get any home games, and that's why we didn't qualify. All right. And by the way, unlike what's his name, Prime, at least I saw my nation win our last game. We beat Tunisia on the last game, right? So we didn't qualify. It was unfortunate that we didn't make it, right? But listen, at the end of the day, we learn our lesson. We'll take the L this time. At the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to see my country get battered in the next AFCON. So listen, I'll take the break. I'll enjoy the AFCON next year.
Now it's acceptable. Hold on. Now it's acceptable to not qualify for a tournament and say, I don't want to see my country get battered. Okay, now it's acceptable. It's fine.
No. In certain competitions, he's talking
to me. Obviously, we're gonna get to it.
We will. He just wants us to get it out of the way because he wants to take over. We'll give you we'll pass the mic soon. But look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be very honest with you, right? When it comes to the Gambia, right? I speak to a lot of my people, right? A lot of them, right? And this has been something that's been brewing since before the AFCON qualifiers started. You understand what I'm saying, right? We were given an opportunity to rebuild our stadium for years, right? And the federation in my nation have been so incompetent, right? They basically took the money that CAF gave them, and they never invested it. And they never invested it in the stadium. You understand what I'm saying? And as a result, CAF ended up banning our stadium in 2022. I think 2022, 2021, right? We got banned, right? And this year in 2024, we finally decided to speed up the process, right? Start rebuilding everything, the seats, the stadium, the locker rooms, everything looked great. They literally fixed everything in the stadium, send the pictures to CAF. CAF then tell us, okay, cool, everything looks nice. All right, we'll let you play the final game of the qualifiers in Gambia. You understand what I'm saying, right? Against Comoros.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then in the a week before in fact it was like 5 days before the before we were supposed to play Comoros. They said, listen, we actually want to come to the stadium ourselves and actually see the stadium. You understand what I'm saying? With our own two eyes. They see everything. Everything looks great. And you know the one part that's the reason why we didn't actually play? You want to know what that is? It was the flipping pitch. The most important part of the entire stadium, the pitch, was still not looking good. And that's why we ended up playing our game in Morocco. And listen, I'm not making any excuses. Fair play to Comoros. Comoros actually qualified unbeaten. They did not lose a single game in this qualifiers, right? In the group with Gambia and Tunisia, they finished top of the group. Congratulations to them. They were the better team by far, right? But at the end of the day, this comes down to our federation. Our federation have been incompetent, and they're the reason why this is happening, and they need to go. The people that run this nation, they run us to the ground. We haven't qualified for the AFCON. We haven't qualified for the under 17, and we didn't qualify for the under 20. You understand what I'm saying, right? And this has been under these people's watch, right? So many players like Noah Sonko, right? Players like Sidi Janko, some of our key players are refusing to play for the national team because of what happened last year's AFCON. Do you guys remember? Did you guys ever hear about that? You remember before the AFCON, we were supposed to go to Ivory Coast, right? And basically, the plane. Did you guys ever hear about the plane incident?
I remember the plane incident. Yeah,
that moment scared the players so much that some of the players haven't played for the national team since the AFCON. Because basically they said, bro, how are you going to give us literally the worst accommodations, right? When we're about to go to defend the nation in an African Cup of Nations. It's an absolute disgrace. And at the end of the day, they should have been fired after that. But they kept on staying, and now here we are. We're not in the AFCON. And listen, Prime, I do see this. I'm going to share it soon, man. This guy. All right, here it is.
Yeah, I mean, I see Ghana in the fourth row. What are you talking about, Prime? This must be you're talking probably another. You must be talking about AFCON 2028 or something, because I see in the Ghana first row the first team. I don't know why they wrote written as Cote d'Ivoire, but that's Ghana right there. The team that beat Nigeria in the final last time, they're doing it again. Just saying.
They're gonna win it again. Ivory Coast win it again.
I mean, they're gonna go further. They're gonna go further than Nigeria. That's for sure.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay, but listen. Before you do go, I do want to give Jess the stage, because I know you're gonna take over, right? But listen, Jess. I know obviously, you're gonna say Germany this, but listen, we're talking about Africa, okay? And
wait,
you guys actually finished bottom. You guys finished bottom of your group. I think you guys lost to Niger, didn't you? Didn't they lose to Niger?
We didn't win a game in the group.
Bro, you didn't win a single game. I didn't even know this. I just thought that you lost your last game.
I think three draws, 3 losses. Yeah.
I mean, tell me, bro. Like,
all I'm saying is there was a time where Prime told me where Ghana, there was a good project there, and how Nigeria was in the mud. And then since then, his words have gone literally the reverse. How Nigeria has gotten better, and how Ghana has gotten worse and worse ever since.
Bro,
I blame Brian for that.
Nigeria stole shit. Don't gaslight.
What do you mean? You're an AFCON. What are you talking about?
So?
You still AFCON.
Bro. Oh, it's not that hard to qualify for AFCON, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for Ghana, it clearly is. So, just saying. But look, man. I'll be honest.
Wait, hold on. Wait, did you guys qualify because of that forfeit by Libya? Prime?
I mean, we would have beaten them anyway.
Oh, no. Jess. I watched the game at where was it? Where did you guys play? Was it Port Harcourt? Where did you guys play against Libya in Nigeria? I watched that game. You guys won 1. I was watching it with you and Steve. Do you remember?
What are you talking about when we beat them at
1-0?
When you beat them at home, yeah.
Yeah, did you guys remember how you struggled against them? Don't tell me you guys were going to easily beat them. Don't tell me you guys are going to we're going to easily beat them, bro.
I didn't say easily. I said we would have beaten them anyway.
You would have beaten them in Libya.
Yes.
I mean, bro, you lost to Rwanda in your final game, bro. You're telling me these
I
guys
know,
couldn't have been able
but
to shock you?
we lost to Rwanda with a rotated side because we had already qualified.
But the rotated side should still be able to beat. Come on, man. You're acting like you were playing against what?
Omar, I keep telling you that our squad is not actually that good, and you are surprised when our rotated side loses to Rwanda. This backs up my point when I say our squad is not actually that good. Our depth is not that good. Boniface played up top, didn't do anything in the game. Again.
Oh, this guy's a fraud for Nigeria. That dude doesn't do anything.
You, our forwards are not. This is why I like Osimhen, because at least he actually tries for my country. The rest of our forwards are not actually that good. Kelechi Iheanacho was playing on the right wing. The guy is not
bro,
good.
Why is Kelechi Iheanacho playing in right wing, bro? Why the
actually,
hell?
Actually, no. Before we go into Nigeria, let's stay at the Ghana topic in it, because obviously
Prime. Yeah, Prime. Let's talk about Ghana first.
So where I was at. Now I'm to be honest.
Yeah, you lost at home to Nigeria, bro.
We lost. And
Kudus missed the penalty as well.
The funny part about that penalty is, by the way, I watched none of the qualifier games because I told myself I don't watch Ghana anymore since the last AFCON. So I didn't watch any of the qualifiers, but I've been keeping up with the scores. I've been keeping up with the news. Nigeria was so bad. Where when Kudus missed the penalty, the Ghanaian fans celebrated. It was
You know what? Because that's something you would do, so you're definitely gonna end them.
Yeah, of course I would do that. Hell yeah! Like what the hell? Like it's funny, first and foremost. But I think even when Nigeria scored, when Nigeria scored, I think the Ghanaian fans all celebrated. And I think when it was full time, instead of being angry, the fans celebrated. Because the fans are tired. The fans are tired of the endless embarrassment.
I actually saw that they were actually celebrating when he missed the penalty. I was like,
and this is the star player, but again, it's another star player who's not turning up anymore. Like here's the by the way, I have the clip here. On I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it. One sec.
Go ahead, man.
One sec. I'm gonna share it. Give me a second.
No, go ahead, man.
I don't think it's gonna be copyright, so we should be all good.
All right, no problem. Yeah, here it is.
You have it. All right, cool.
There it is. Oh my days.
And also the fans are screaming away because they want to miss the penalty.
Yes, I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my days. Bro, listen to the fans, bro. You would swear this is in Niger, bro. Look at the way they say, oh my god. Bro, if I didn't see this penalty shooter, do you guys realize if I didn't see the penalty, I would have thought that Niger just scored the winner right here, right?
Yeah, they would have scored the winner, yeah, but because the game was over after that, and obviously they were obviously. But now this is the state where Ghanaian football is. The fans celebrate the opponent's wins these days now, rather than trying to support the team, because outside the time when we made it to the World Cup, when we beat Nigeria in the playoffs, out of that, when you look at the Ghanaian records out of that World Cup run, it's been hella spooky for time. It's just been dog shit. And I'll be honest, I've been talking about it for the longest. I've been having runs on Flawless channel for the longest. The reason why, the reason why I don't say is the only reason why I'm not saying I don't want to be at AFCON because I don't want to get embarrassed is because because Brian taught me that when Nigeria lost to us, and I was just hella shameless.
Wait, let him finish his point, bro. Don't worry.
Let me actually say what you want to say.
I said it before we played you in the qualifiers that I don't care if we lose.
Okay.
I said it before.
Okay, yeah. So the most before. Okay, so correction. He said it before even we played Nigeria, where he said he doesn't want to go to the World Cup because at the time Nigeria was in the proper dumpster at the time. So and I was taking the piss because why not? And so now people who remember me saying all these things have been going after me saying the same things like, yo, so you don't say that no. And I'm not. Guess what? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I'm not happy because I don't want to get embarrassed in the AFCON because I keep saying one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to be in the AFCON is because my dad, even though I disagree with him a lot about Ghana, he still supports Ghana with a passion. So I wanted the team to be at least there so that my father can at least see the team compete. And he's also an old man as well, so you want to cherish these moments as much as you can. And so this would be the only reason
African pride,
why.
man.
What do you say?
But I say it's African pride. Listen, at the end of the day, I understand. We're all born in like different countries from like our African nations, but at the end of the day, we are Africans in our blood. You understand what I'm saying? In our hearts, right? And we still support it, even though sometimes they don't really they disappoint us. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I get it. At the end of the day, I support a small nation. I don't expect a lot from Gambia. I'm not expecting Gambia to be in the World Cup. I'm not expecting Gambia to constantly be in the Africa Cup of Nations constantly every single year. I would love to see I would love to see Gambia be a country that is like consistent, at least in the AFCON. You understand what I'm saying? Right? And I do believe that now, the team that we have now, if you look at like the whole of Africa, right? If we take it seriously, we can at least be there constantly. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying we're going to go there, reach the quarterfinals every single year, but we can at least make ourselves a stable member. You understand what I'm saying? Especially now that like the competition is like 2014.
You guys have a good team.
Yeah, we do. And that's my thing. And that's why my disappointment, this is why when people say, oh, Omar, but at the end of the day, you're still like, you were still unhappy, you were still losing your head. It's because at the end of the day, I still think that we had a good team to qualify. You understand what I'm saying? We still had a good team to qualify. That's why it hurt me that we didn't make it, right? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we finished 2 points behind the team that finished second. And a lot of the reasons why is because we didn't capitalize on the good chances. We should have beaten Madagascar in both of the games we played them, right? We beat them in the home game, which was not a home game, but still, you get it, right? We beat them 1-0 and we drew with them 1-1, right? Losing at home to Tunisia 2-1 didn't help us, right? Losing late against Comoros didn't help us, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just feel like we have a good team to at least challenge, right? Just be there, just at least, be
the way AFCON is like, if you're there, you get out of the group, who knows what happens.
Exactly. Especially, know what it is. That's why actually a lot of people in Africa, right, they're giving this new format a criticism. You want to know why? It's because with this new format, right, you don't get the big games. You understand what I'm saying? Like, back when it was like 16 teams, right, you were always guaranteed. And I've always said this for me, right, the best AFCON I ever watched, I've always said it, was in 2008, the one in Ghana. That for me was the best AFCON I ever remember. In my whole life, I watched a lot of AFCONs, right? There have been a lot of great ones. But the one in 2008 was special. And the reason it was special is because, bro, did you guys remember the star-studded teams that were in that tournament? Right? Ghana had a good team. Nigeria had a good team. Ivory Coast had a good team. Egypt were like at the top of the world at the time. They were literally at the top of Africa at the time. Even countries like Angola were like very good at that time. Tunisia were good. Senegal were good. You understand what I'm saying, right? Right? You had like good teams, and you remember like when it was like in the quarterfinals, it was Ghana against Nigeria. You had Ivory Coast against Guinea. You had Angola against Egypt.
I think that was that was the start of Ivory Coast golden generation.
Yeah, it was like 2006 was like the start of it, and 2008 was when they really reached their prime. That was like I've always said this, that in 2008 they were dominating until they played Egypt in the semifinals and they got destroyed. I will never forget, right? Because obviously Gambia were not in the AFCON, so I was supporting Guinea because of my mother's side, right? And I remember when
Yeah.
we played Ivory Coast, we got destroyed by them 5-0. I was like, oh my god, this team! Every time I've watched them play in this AFCON, they've just destroyed everyone. I remember they played you guys, they played Nigeria, and they beat Nigeria in the opening game, and they just destroyed everyone else. They destroyed Guinea, Benin, they destroyed Mali, they destroyed Guinea, Conakry, and then they played Egypt. And I was just thinking, yo, these guys have destroyed everyone. And then they get destroyed by Egypt. I was like, yo, what the happened? You guys are literally destroying everyone, and then you get destroyed against Egypt. But around that time, Egypt was a flipping, bro. Egypt at that time, bro.
That was their
Good Lord.
three-peat, right?
That was the 3P team. That was actually their back-to-back. They did the back-to-back. And you guys remember, Ghana actually lost to Cameroon in the semifinals. That was the one, I think, was it Jeremy who scored the winning goal, if I'm not mistaken? But yeah, that but my point is, right, back in the day, right, because of like the small format, 16-team format, you were always likely to always have like big games either in the groups or in the quarterfinals, right? In fact, you would always have that one group. Every time like all the big nations qualified, you would always know that there would be one group where you would have like two big boys, two of the big teams in the group. You understand what I'm saying, right? So in 2008, you had Nigeria and Ivory Coast in the same group. So everyone was like, yo, that's going to be a good game. You guys remember Cameroon and Egypt being in the same group. Everyone was like, oh my God, Egypt against Cameroon, right? You had Tunisia and Senegal in the same group. So everyone was like looking at the group stages back in the day and saying, yo, this team, like, at least you were guaranteed that you would have two groups where you would have like a big game. You understand what I'm saying? But in the 24-team format, it's very unlikely. You're not likely to see you might see one group where you will see like two big nations. You understand what I'm saying? Two big nations in on paper, but you're not going to see it. But what this 24-team format has done is, because now there's so many underdogs, you are likely to see one of the underdog nations come in and actually do some madness. Madagascar were the first ones to start that in 2019. Did you guys remember when they beat Nigeria in the group 2-0? Everyone was like shocked, and they reached this remember, they actually reached the quarterfinals, and they lost to Tunisia in the quarterfinals, right? And then 2 years later,
even before that.
Now, that was the first time the 24-team format was played in 2019.
No, I'm not talking about the new format. I'm talking about in
2012 when Zambia won it.
2012, yeah.
Yeah, Zambia won the thing.
When they faced Ivory Coast in the final.
And they beat them. Yeah.
For me, it was like a big upset.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. They've always been. I feel like we've seen a few upsets in the years, even before the 2014 format. I remember Algeria in 2010. They knocked out Ivory Coast from the 2010. They did the semifinals. I didn't expect them to do that. Obviously, Zambia, they did well. Even like countries like Equatorial Guinea reached the semifinals in like 2015. With DR Congo also, they also made it there.
There's more upsets now, but then again, the big nations are not as strong.
But that's the thing. But this is the thing. But see, that's the point I'm trying to basically make here, right? At the end of the day, with some of these nations, they are like, I wouldn't necessarily say they're team big nations, but they're nations who you've seen in the AFCON constantly. You understand what I'm saying, right? It's very rare to see a nation that haven't been in the AFCON coming to the AFCON and just absolutely to shock everyone, right? The only two nations that have done it is Madagascar and Gambia. Madagascar went to their first AFCON in 2019, and they finished in the top of their group ahead of Nigeria in that final game, right? They reached the quarterfinals, right? They haven't been back since. But you look at Gambia, in 2 years later, we went to the AFCON, right? We went to the AFCON, and we finished second, but we finished with the same amount of points as Mali. Reached the quarterfinal. We beat Guinea in the round of 16, and then we lost to the host, right? So I feel like what this new format does is that it gives the teams that are not really expected to do. This is why I feel like people are enjoying the AFCON more now, because now they're seeing like, yo, who are these nations? Who is this Comoros nation who are coming to the AFCON and actually like beating Ghana? Who is like this country, Madagascar, who are beating the big boys in Nigeria, right? Who is this Gambian team that is beating Guinea and Tunisia? You understand what I'm saying? Like, people are seeing this now, and they're like, bro, who are these nations? We didn't know that African football was actually developing at this fast rate, right? What I feel like what that will do, this new format does, is that it gives, it kind of broadens the horizon. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because the more debuts we see in the AFCON, and the more these nations get that experience of being in the AFCON playing against these big nations, right? it gives them a chance. It gives them more of an opportunity when like the World Cup qualifiers comes around because they've played these nations before, right? So they won't have that fear factor. They won't have that fear against them when they play them. Like, you know, when we played, like we beat Tunisia a few then on our final game, we beat Tunisia before in the AFCON. So we play us playing them in the qualifiers of the AFCON. We looked at them and said, we were like, listen, we already played you guys. We know you guys can be beaten, right? So when we play a team like Cameroon again, I know we've lost to them when we played them, but our final game, in our game in the AFCON, we almost beat them. You understand what I'm saying? If we play them again, we'll look at them and say, listen, we played you guys, we nearly beat you guys before. We don't have that fear factor on you again. You don't have that fear factor on us again. We played
and
you guys.
Cameroon and Tunisia, historically, they're not easy sides. They're not easy
That's
sides.
my point. And that is the point. And even like you see, I mean, look at you guys, right? I know you guys qualified, but you played to Rwanda and you lost. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Rwanda, they're also not easy to play against. We shouldn't. It's a good thing we had already qualified, but really you shouldn't rotate because they're not.
They're actually doing well in the World Cup qualifiers. I think they're in the same group. And they're in the same group with you guys.
Yes, and we lost to them earlier, I'm pretty sure, in the qualifiers.
So basically, they've beaten you twice.
Wait, no, hold on, no.
Did they beat you guys in the World Cup qualifiers too?
No, that was a draw. My bad, sorry.
But still, to get a draw against Nigeria, bro, that is why they don't have that. See, bro, you just proved my point in fear factor. The fact that they played you guys in the World Cup qualifiers, get a draw against Nigeria, they looked at that and said, listen, we've actually wounded these guys before. It's not like we can't do it again. You understand what I'm saying, right? And I feel like what this does, this is why you see, like, for a long time, European nations have always been improving. You understand what I'm saying? Because Europe were like the Euros were like the first ones to do the 2014 format in 2016, right? And you've seen since then, right? Things like Iceland went to the World Cup in 2018, right? We saw Wales go to the World Cup in 2022, right? We've seen, like, look at when Georgia beat Portugal in the Euros, right? This every single time we're watching the Euros, we're seeing one of these smaller nations who for years have been underachieving in Europe, coming into the tournament and actually doing a madness. Like, who was Georgia 10 years ago, with all due respect? But look at them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But listen, Prime, I do want to basically hear your opinions, because I know, you know, you got a lot of things.
So he has a lot to say before we leave here.
You say what you have to say before we do wrap up, because now, you know, let's give you the final the moments. Because, you know, you've had a lot to say for weeks now, man, and I feel like you still have a lot to say. He's just taking his time. He's like, where do I start?
Our squad is not good. I've been saying this for years. Like, we have a good, more or less 11 in theory. But our squad is really not good. Stanley Nwambali couldn't play because I think his dad died, so he couldn't play the Rwanda game.
Damn, condolences to him.
Okoye played in goal. The guy's ass. Don't know why he's still getting called up. A lot of players should not make the squad again. Boniface should never make the squad again. Kelechi Iheanacho should not make the squad again. Chusa Kong, the guy keeps getting run into the ground. He's in his 30s, I think. I think he's 31, 32. He just had surgery after AFCON, and he's still getting overused.
Jesus.
Aina didn't play. He got sent back to Wolves or to Forest because they're preparing for the Arsenal game. And right Osai Samuel played out right back. He wasn't good. We need to go back to playing with a back five because we can't play in a flat four. Bruno Onyemachi, he's a left back, wing back. He's actually very good. He plays in Portugal, but yeah, as of everything else, like, and we still don't have a coach, so who knows?
How are you guys still coachless, man?
The guy that's the interim, he is part of like the federation, but he actually used to be our coach a few years ago. Not the last AFCON, the AFCON before that, He was our coach. He was our interim coach. And then that was the one where we lost to Tunisia in the round of 16, I think. Yeah.
You
And
know
then
what
after that,
confuses me? You know
Yeah.
what confuses me the most, right? Did you guys see that Renard was actually available for so many months, and then you guys let him go back to Saudi Arabia, bro? Why didn't you?
I
Seriously,
don't
bro.
know.
What,
I don't
bro?
think he would.
Are you?
I don't think he would have accepted the job anyway.
Why? Why wouldn't I accept it? It's Nigeria, bro. With all
Because
due respect.
but we're a mess.
No,
We're
no.
a complete mess.
Okay, where is the mess?
I heard what Prime saying, because like even if you don't see the mess from like even if you just look from the outside, and you don't see the mess, like the team looks okay. If you want to say a bit, if you want to be critical and that,
Mm.
but I feel like it's more so the inside where things that are in behind the scenes. There are a lot of things happened, and I feel like a personality like a Renard just wouldn't stay there for much longer. I think this is pretty much the case. It's the
I
behind the
like
scenes
Bernard.
thing.
He's a
Yeah.
quality coach. I like him, but he just wouldn't accept it. What I would have done, because it's funny, Jose Pesero, I was very critical of him going into AFCON because we had like a 33 win percentage. But what he did at AFCON, fair enough, he didn't rotate the 11 much. But it shows now, because when we start rotating our 11, we show that the actual squad is ass. But then again, we call up the same players all the time. There's a lot of young quality players that we could bring up or we could convince to come play for Nigeria. But we don't. We're a mess. Madueke, we could have convinced him like a year ago. But we didn't. He's now playing for England. He's not gonna get to play for England once Tuchel comes in. Let's just be realistic. You have
Bro,
Tosin.
that is one of the. I'm not gonna lie. That is one of the stupidest decisions Madueke could have ever done, bro.
Exactly.
Like seriously, with all due respect, I'm not saying you shouldn't believe in yourself, but think about it this way, bro. You know your limitations. You know how many players play in your position in England. How are you? Listen. At
Whereas
the
for
end of the day,
Nigeria,
I admire the ability, but
you have Carney Chuameka. I know he doesn't play for Chelsea much, but if we got our act together, we can convince him to play for Nigeria. There's a spot in the team for a creative midfielder. You have Olise, he's playing for France now. He could have played. Eze, he's tied now for England, but he's never going to get a game. You have Bakayo Tomori, he's never going to get to play for Nigeria now when he could have. Tosin Adarabayo,
yes,
like at least for Nigeria, he can play for us, but I doubt he'll accept. Like there's quality out there, but we don't use them properly. And even the players we do call up, Deli Fisayo that plays for Lazio.
Oh yeah, I know him.
He's actually good, but when he plays for Nigeria, we don't use him properly.
I see.
Like it's so annoying, and that's why I was not the last AFCON. I wasn't looking like I was so pessimistic because, and even though I agreed with Jez, if we get our act together, but that's why I look at Ghana and Nigeria. At least at that point, I looked at Ghana and Nigeria so similar that we have talent, but we're ran so awful. But if you get your act together for a few games, you can make a final, and which is what we did, and we were close to winning it. But I don't know how we're going to do that again. We're not.
I completely hear that. But yeah, listen,
which
guys,
is sad because there's quality in here. Like Osimhen was the last player of the year for Africa. It looks like Lookman is going to win this one. 2 back-to-back players of the year are Nigerian, and we can't string 2 passes together.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, listen, guys, I do want to wrap up. We've been out here for a while now. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, make sure you guys go and subscribe to Prime. I'm gonna put the link to his channel on the description. Big ups to Jez as well. Go if you guys listen. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my guy on Twitch. Okay, guys. He does a lot of Twitch videos. What you got going? Are you still playing the Spark Zero?
Yeah. So yeah, as of recent, I've just been hella busy. So I haven't really had the opportunity to stream for myself. But I've been planning to bring my streaming content where I stream Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So if you're into fighting games in general,
Yeah,
or if
man.
you're specifically into Dragon Ball,
Mhm.
tune in, man. We have a good
Yeah,
time.
man. Go ahead.
Good, yeah,
Guys.
man. Just having a good
I'm a
time, man.
huge
Yeah.
Dragon Ball fan. I don't have the Spark Zero, but listen, I do actually watch a lot of like the Spark Zero content. But listen,
Also,
hmm,
Ireland, we lost 5-0 to England.
yeah, but no
that-
one cares. No one cares about Ireland.
Damn,
And by the way,
damn.
USA beat Jamaica as well. If we're talking about Ireland, it's just USA beat the man them. So at the end of the day, hold that flawless.
So
Uh,
we're saying, put top notch punch now, yeah.
there you go, man. Yeah, big up to you, man.
Ah,
But yeah,
you said it, not me.
it is what it is. It is what it is. But listen, at the end of the day, guys, listen, it's been an amazing show. Big up to you, Prime. Big up to you, Jess. Big up to Mike, who is actually on his channel. And listen, we're actually going to redirect to Mike's channel, guys. He's actually doing, is he still live? Let me see if he's still live. Yes, he must be still live. Yeah. Listen, guys, we're gonna redirect to Mike's Omar BYT raid going up there. Make sure you guys, before you guys leave, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, share this on all socials. And this has been another episode of True Ballers FC. Like the video, subscribe, and peace, you guys. Take care, man.
Yo.